It is not a secret that the strongest motivation of self-giving human action comes from the personal relationship with God. As Benedict says, without the perspective of eternal life, human progress in this world is denied breathing space. The prosperity of society cannot be reached by technologies only. The technocratic ideology can be even dangerous, since it leaves the development of society to a blind evolution. In order to have a proper development of society, we need to recognize, as Benedict points out, that this development is dependent on how well we embrace the best of the human nature. Therefore, to know human nature is to know the key of prosperity. The key of prosperity is not merely material means, but rather spiritual energy found in human hearts and minds. Caritas in Veritate defines a list of problems that the modern world encounters: division of society, various forms of social and psychological instability, cultural eclecticism or cultural leveling, relativism, the lack of respect of human life and others. However, the main problem that Benedict points to is how a human person sees himself. History has taught us that to mistakenly answer the question, who is a man, has devastating consequences. It is not a secret that in today's world there are two worldviews toward a person: transcendental humanism and secular humanism. The latter is not adequate and is not an authentic view toward a person, since, as Benedict says, a man is not a lost atom in a random universe. He is a God's creature whom God chose to endow with immortal soul and whom he has always loved. So, why it's so important to speak about these standpoints? The development depends on the view toward the person that motivates a creative human action. This viewpoint is so important since it bases the foundation of human relations, as well as all macro relations of a society. If these relations are based on incorrect anthropology, it can start demoralization of society. If the state forces a secular humanism as a normative or legal viewpoint of a man, then it starts to devalue the authentic motivation power of human action. Benedict is very clear on this. When the state promotes, teaches, or actually imposes forms of practical atheism, it deprives its citizens of the moral and spiritual strength that is indispensable for attaining integral human development, and it impedes them from moving forward with renewal dynamism as they strive to offer a more generous human response to divine love. So we understand that there is no stronger motivation to act than in charity, to be creative, to take various self-giving initiatives. This motivation, which is understood as a vocation given by the Creator, others' motives, no matter how well-sounded they can be, cannot compete with this, where a person conceives himself as an image of the Creator. We do not say that other motives to act are bad or weak, but they are not adequate when compared with the transcendental motivation. If this understanding is disregarded, it endangers the development of science, technology, economy, democracy, and overall human prosperity. The free market is a very sensitive system. It is based on trust, on human creative capacities, or human capital, or on social capital. That means that it is not enough to find mere technical solutions to fix economic instruments in creating economic prosperity. The underdevelopment of countries in a high degree depends on human capacities rather than on instrumental ones. A contemporary free market society needs to look for answers that most effectively initiates a creative, collaborative, and an entrepreneurial action. Benedict emphasized in this regard the need to reconsider the logic of economy and to take a further and deeper reflection on the meaning of the economy and its goals. He says, "It is about broadening the scope of reason and making it capable of knowing and directing these powerful new forces, animating them within the perspective of that civilization of love, whose seed God has planted in every people, in every culture." In short, he says that business activity has a human significance prior to its professional one. Finally, we can say that we need is to foster a culture of hope which feeds a commercial society, culture of giving, and culture of transcendental motivation of human action.